Hello everyone, this is Satish Kumar. So, we are learning about self management and a topic uh, of attitude we are learning. Uh, we have already completed 2 lessons on attitude, in which we learnt about the components of attitude and also we learnt about the functions of attitude. Now, in this lesson, we will learn how attitudes are formed. Okay, we need to know how we acquire attitudes, and this will be very helpful to either modify our habit or not acquiring bad habits initially. Okay, because if we know how we are acquiring attitude, okay, so we will see how our attitudes are formed, and we will also see how our attitude could be changed, how we change our attitudes. Okay, and in this lesson we will see how attitudes are formed. So first is mere exposure to any person or a product repeatedly will have some influence over that product. Okay, if we see a person regularly, interact with them regularly, okay, and if we have a positive experience, okay, even if it is not a positive experience, a normal experience, when we are seeing a person regularly, we will started liking them. Okay, suppose if you are having regularly a negative experience, that also will shape into a negative attitude towards that person. So repeatedly getting exposed to something will uh, definitely result in some sort of attitude formation. Either it may be positive or negative, that is a different thing. But getting exposed to a product or a person or or something, a institution will make a have an effect on our attitude. Okay, we will form an attitude. That is the reason why during the elections campaign you could find the election the political parties will come up with slogans like Matram, Munnetram, but that doesn't worked, because see, one of the thing about this is exposure is when something is getting exposed regularly, that product should be new to that person and they should not have any negative experience previously. If they had previously negative experience, even if you repackage them, it doesn't work. Okay, so if you expose something new and it is regularly, if it is exposed, that could be a positive attitude could be formed. Okay, but exposing some product or a person to somebody regularly will result in some attitude formation. Okay, this is first. Mere exposure is enough. Okay, regularly. Okay, இந்த தனுஷ்லாம் ஒரு படத்தில் சொல்கிறார்ல, என்ன மாதிரி பசங்களெல்லாம் பார்த்த உடனே பிடிக்காதுங்க, பார்க்கத்தான் பிடிக்கும், அவரை பார்த்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். ரிப்பீட்டட் எக்ஸ்போஷர். ஓகே, இன்ஃபேக்ட் சில பேர்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா, இப்போ நீங்கள் இளையராஜா பாட்டெல்லாம் கேட்குறீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், பாட்டை கேட்ட உடனே உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கும், அவ்வளோ நல்லாயிருக்கும், அப்படியே டக்குன்னு பற்றிக்கும். ஆனால் ஏஆர் ரஹ்மான் பாட்டெல்லாம் ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேட்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கவே பிடிக்காது. அதனால் இந்த ஏஆர் ரஹ்மான் ஃபேன்ஸ்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா, நீங்கள் இந்த பாட்டு ரிப்பீட்டடாக கேளுங்க, உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கும்னு. ரிப்பீட்டடாக எது கேட்டாலும் பிடிக்கும், ஆட்டிடியூட் படி. நியர் எக்ஸ்போஷர், ரெகுலர் எக்ஸ்போஷர். ஓகே, ஸோ என்னோடய ஆட்டிடியூட் வந்து டுவர்ட்ஸ் ஹைலி ஃபேவரபிள் டுவர்ட்ஸ் இளையராஜா. அதனால் நான் இளையராஜா ப்ரேஸ் பண்ணுறதா கூட இருக்கலாம், ஐ டோன்ட் நோ, ஐ மே பி பயாஸ், பட் ஐ திங்க் இளையராஜா இஸ் அ ஃபார் பெட்டர் மியூசிக் டைரக்டர் தென் ரஹ்மான். ஓகே, that's a different story. Okay, next, the second is our personal experience. Okay, this is the most important factor in attitude formation. When we encounter something, okay, and when we have some positive or negative experience towards something, if we buy a product and if we have taken it, for example, if I am buying some sweet to eat, and when I taste it I find it very tasty, I'll form a very negative positive attitude towards that product, that encounter, personal experience. Similarly, when I'm encountering a person, okay, I see a person, he's we both interact, we go for an outing, we had a very good time. Naturally, I will develop a very positive feeling towards that person and attitude towards that person. Okay, so personal experience is one of the most important thing. Okay, and whenever we experience personally about something, we will hold that attitude very strongly. It is not easy to change those things. Okay, even if somebody sells or some knowledge you get, no, அவன் வந்து சரியில்லடா அப்படின்ட்டு யாராவது சொல்கிறாங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், நான் பழகினேன்ப்பா அவன் பெஸ்ட்டு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி தான் இருப்பீங்க. You will have that strong, because you have personally experienced with that person. The other information doesn't matter. Okay, so personal experience la, when you experience something personally, it will have a very deep impact on you, and you will have a very strong attitude towards that, either a product or a person or in anything. Okay, that is why it is said, among the components of attitude ஒரு மூணு காம்பனன்ட் பார்த்தோம், ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா? அதில் affective component will have a very strong effect on our attitude. Behavior, affective and cognitive, there are three components. In that, affective components will have a very important part in forming of our attitude, because when we are affected by something, it will form into an attitude, whether it is a negative experience or a positive experience. Accordingly, the attitude will be formed. Okay, when we have any affect, when we like a person, when we have a very good experience with the person, we will naturally form a favorable attitude. When we have a negative attitude, negative experience with the person, we will form a negative attitude. Okay, so affective component is very important. So the personal experience through attitude formation is very strongly held, and it is not easy to change. Okay, then the third is attitudes are formed also through the classical conditioning. We learnt about classical conditioning, the learning theory. Okay, so see, classical conditioning is nothing but a neutral stimulus which doesn't elicit response initially. When it is paired with the natural stimulus, regularly will elicit a response. That is what classical conditioning is. That is, a bell will not elicit salivation, but if it is paired with food regularly, the bell will get the salivation. Okay, likewise, we also acquire attitude like this. In fact, advertising companies usually used to do this to have a positive attitude formation of that product. What they will do is, they will often put celebrities who are liked by people. Okay, when people have a favorable impression about a particular celebrity, no, they will actually, advertising companies will actually recruit that celebrity to endorse that product. When the product is presented by that celebrity, no, since the celebrity is having a positive liking by the people, even though we may not like that product, we will start liking that product. Okay, first we don't like that product, but if it is endorsed by the person who is liked by us repeatedly, we will like that product. Okay, so that is why advertisers will do these kind of things. They will look for celebrities who are liked by all. They will look for models who are so beautiful, so that when a beauty product is sold, it elicits response. Okay, similarly, classical conditioning, there are other ways also. This is one way. Personally, we see, you are a cricketer. Okay, and when you are playing, no, you usually used to wear a hat, you also have a bat, you also have a pad, you also have a shoe. Okay, see, you may have different types of hat, green hat, blue hat, a red hat, like that, different types of hat you may have. But whenever you wear a green hat, you have a very good success in your cricket game. You may have to have scored every time more runs. whenever you wear that green hat. So naturally there is a positive experience with that green hat, so you will started liking the green hat. Okay, so initially you won't like the green hat, but because every time when you wear that green hat you are scoring more runs, so you will naturally have a favorable attitude towards the hat. Similarly, we all have some attitude form about particular shirts. நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே ஒரு பிடிச்ச ஷர்ட் இருக்கும். அது எதுக்குன்னா, பிகாஸ் இட் இஸ் associated with some positive experience. Every time when we wear that shirt, something good may have happened. Okay, so this was classical conditioning. The shirt itself does not have that response. An attitude form does not form. It is formed because the positive experience that we had because of that shirt or because of that hat. Okay, this is classical conditioning. So classical conditioning type of attitudes are formed each and every day. Okay, then there is also operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is another learning theory, and in this theory we have not seen this theory, but it's a very simple theory. It's a theory which says that we acquire behavior to avoid punishment or to get some reward and to get reward. Okay, if we do an act and somebody praises us, no, and if we get a positive rewards, no, we will do that. If we do an act and if somebody actually criticize us, we won't do it. Okay, it's as simple as that. Children usually acquire things by the parental conditioning, operant conditioning. If a child is doing a certain act, for example, if the child is actually coming home from a school and he is putting his bag somewhere and its shoes somewhere like that, no, the parents might scold. To avoid that scolding, the child will form an attitude of keeping the bag at the right place, keeping the shoe at the shoe rack. Okay, so a good attitude is formed. So to avoid that punishment. Similarly, the parents may say good things. If we keep a bag at the right place, no, well, this is very good, they may praise us, they may even give some gift, a chocolate, so that to get that reward we may acquire attitude. So operant conditioning is that to get a reward, to get a avoid punishment, we may develop an attitude, and this will work us daily. We have around us people like our parents, our friends, our colleagues, and other close relatives, and all these people, know they are all significant people for us, and we may form an attitude which they like, and we may not form an attitude which they don't like, because we want to be accepted by them. These are all significant people for us. Okay, and we also have to understand this is how certain attitudes, when we have an attitude which is against them, we won't hold that for a long time, because it will be difficult to get along with them holding that attitude which is totally against them. Okay, so this is one method, and the other fourth method is, we have seen 4 already. Fifth method is observational learning. This is also a learning theory, a very important theory. Observational learning is nothing but we see certain people who are significant to us, similar to operant conditioning. People like our parents, no, generally for most children the parents is their hero. Okay, in fact for male the father is the hero, so he will acquire characteristics that the father has. If a father is showing in his daily life some negative attitudes towards certain racial group, no, the child will also acquire that. That is why in certain higher caste people, know, the father will show that kind of attitude towards some lower caste people. That child will also acquire, and he will also do the same thing, that attitude, without even knowing whether it is correct or not. Okay, so these things are very important. When we model certain things, no, we model what our significant people does. For example, a brother, a father. Okay, even if they have a negative attitude, okay, sometimes we may also form favor positive attitude. Okay, so we model. In fact, this is another very important method of attitude formation, and there may be some discrepancies. Yes, okay, we have to know this. See, we have to understand whether our father is following a right attitude or not. Merely holding attitudes which our parents have will not work. In fact, that is why uh, up to teenage, certain children may have an attitude which their parents fostered, but when they go separated to colleges and to workplace, no, they will develop new attitudes which were totally opposite to their parents thought. Okay, okay, this is about observation learning. Then we also form attitude based on social comparison. Similarly, the people who are significant people like parents, friends, all these people know, when they hold an attitude, we will compare our attitude with their attitude, and we will also try to align our attitude with their attitude, whether our attitude is right or not. If somebody is holding an attitude which is said that if our social group is not holding an attitude that we are holding, we will try to avoid that. Okay, if everybody in a group are believing in God, we don't want to stand and say that I don't believe in God. Even if you don't believe in God, you will go and stand with them and mingle with them. Okay, your attitude may be different, but your behavior will always be in constant with them. Okay, so this method of social comparison is very important. You will compare yourself with your group and you will form attitude. So these are all the 6 major things that we learned by attitudes we learn. Okay, formation of attitude. But there are also certain attitude which we inherit by a genetic, okay, genetic factors. But attitude mostly are learned, but there are also certain attitudes which we inherit from our parents. And when we inherit attitude from our parents, no, these are all very strongly held, and these could be easily strengthened. Certain attitudes like your curiosity for certain things, studying, your curiosity for playing a novel game like chess, and these kind of attitudes are inherited, and these could be easily strengthened on you. Any attitude that is inherited could be easily strengthened because it comes naturally to you. Okay, attitude which is learned has to be strengthened by practice and other things. But an attitude which is formed by genetic characteristics, no, there are a number of attitude which are inherited by genetic characters. Okay, and I often wonder why I am good at certain things. Okay, because those things are came to me naturally. Maybe I have inherited that. Okay, so that is the reason. So genetic factors also play a role in our attitude formation. So these are all the major factors in attitude formation. And with this I end this lesson. In my next lesson we will see how to change the attitude. Okay, bye.